Hey everyone, this is Wobbly Wallaby. Today I'm going to show you my budget mechanic build for Ragnarok M Classic. It is capable of dealing more than 1 million damage against novice bosses. I'll break this down in detail, but first let me show you some gameplay against the novice Golem. I cast Prepare for Elite, then go towards the Golem. Knuckle boost is great since it's convertible, has a nice range, and the damage increase due to successive flying punches from Aesir Monument stacks up a lot. So first it begins at 700,000, then eventually after 5 stacks it goes up to 1.2 million. I also like that the range is great for avoiding the Golem's AoE, you can just move out of the way, and the attack frequency is pretty good too. When I'm near death I eat a potion, then continue attacking. The anti-death food definitely saved me here. Even without the master skills, the DPS has great potential and is very free to play and budget friendly. The golem goes down, which is great. Next, here are my attributes. First I max dex since that makes your knuckle boost damage stronger. Then a bunch into Vit to ensure I have survivability, plus it works very well with Saint's Cape since the more HP you have, the more attack you'll get. Then I put the remainder into strength. With self buffs and foods I have 5,844 attack, 828,000 HP, 126% move speed, which is not bad for dodging attacks, 10% penetration, 4% skill damage, 70% physical damage increase, and 99% ignore defense. I also have 75% fire damage and 3% water damage. Next for Adventure Handbook, I am Adventure Class D. I have 246 attack and 4,506 HP. Next, here's my gear. I use the plus 12 Adventure Master Shield since it's easy to socket and tier up over the Rosa Bracelet. This provides some nice ignore defense, but later on I will be going to the Rosa Bracelet. For card, I use the Mirror Roland's card for the damaged MVP and mini monsters. Next, I use the Saint's Cape, which is amazing, since every 200 max HP gives 1 physical attack. That way, even investing in HP for survivability helps improve your damage. I did tier it up to 7 to get all the max HP, Vit, and Strength bonuses. There is no need to get tier 5, since we're using an axe, which isn't a blunt weapon or knuckle. Next for card, I use the Moon Axe Star card for the 15% ignore defense. Next, I use the Ancient Cape for the 15% ignore defense. I get it to refine 8, then level it up to 4. That way, for every 1% ignore defense, I'll get 0.5 attack. Next for card, I use the Made for Lin's card for damage to MVP and mini monsters. Next for footgear, I use the Refined 12 Adventure Master Boots for the attack percentage. This is easier to level up and socket compared to the Ruined Boots. For card, I use the Ferris card for the max HP percentage. Next for my first accessory, I use the plus 12 Adventure Master Necklace since I lack ignore defense. If I had a nice Morale 3 to 4 enchant, I would replace this with the attack percentage accessory. Next for card, I use the Novice Made card for the raw 50 attack. For memory attribute, I have level 1 for the attack. For my next accessory, I use the Refined 12 Adventure Master Bracelet. This is easier to refine and socket compared to the powerful ring. For card, I use the Toru card for the strength and dex. Next for weapon, I use the Refine 8 Dumax Star. This is the best weapon for knuckle boost and arm cannon build for mechanic. It's particularly good if you use the fire converter due to the high fire damage. Next for cards, I use 2 Minor's cards for damage to large monsters, and most bosses are large monsters, which is why I use them. I did prioritize getting 2 Minor's cards right away, since this is very important for instances. Next for memory attribute, I have level 1 for the attack. Next for headwear, I use Majestic Goat for the ignore defense and strength. If I had enough ignore defense, I would use the White Knight helm instead for damage to MVP and mini monsters. Next for face, I use the Face King for the penetration percentage and 5% ignore defense. I really lacked ignore defense, so this really was helpful. Next for mouth, I use Bone in Mouth for the 3% penetration. Next for back, I use the Terrible Tornado for the movement speed and skill damage. Next for tail, I use the Ice Wrist Sculpture for the Ignore Defense and the Ignore Defense target debuff. Next, here are my skills for PvE. I use Ymr's Notebook to use another set of skills if I'm farming or crafting stuff. Do not use this build for farming since you're lacking the passives that help you earn more Zeny and get more drops. Here are my merchant skills. Here are my blacksmith skills. Here are my whitesmith skills. Next, here are my mechanic skills. I'm currently not at max job level yet. Next, in my Prepare for Elite, I have Weapon Perfection, Loud Exclamation, Adrenaline Rush, Overthrust, Cart Boost, Meltdown, and Anti-Gravity Armor. On my manual bar, I have Prepare for Elite, which I cast before a battle, Mendo Gear License to use my skills, Arm Cannon for some AoE and burst, Overthrust Max for the huge 50% physical damage increase, Play Dead, and Trading Master. On auto, I have Mendo Gear License and Knuckle Boost. I prefer to cast my buffs manually. Next are guild buffs. For Pray to Goddess, I focus on the Combat Blessing to give me 55 more attack, as well as the HP Blessing to give max HP plus 1390. Next for Blessing of Goddess, I have 3% Ignore Defense and 5% Penetration. I focused on these two first. Next I have max HP at 2325, and for elemental damage I put into fire damage and water damage, which is what I use most frequently. Next for Aesir Monument, I have 146.9 attack, so you can get quite a lot here. But the most important one is the Successive Flying Punch for the 50% boost in damage, plus the damage increase by 10% each time. This does last for 5 seconds and can be stacked up to 5 times. There are 5 nodes, and that was my number 1 priority, and that'll definitely use up a lot of your contribution gold medals. Now with my remaining contribution gold medals, I focus on axe proficiency and power. Now once I ran out of gold medals, then I look for attack nodes. Next for foods, I use Prontera Royal Salad for the anti-death effect. It gives 2 anti-deaths per stack, which is really nice. At my current tasting level, I can have 5 stacks, but I can go up to 6 stacks. Next for B meals, I eat Strength B, Fit B, and Dex B. I also eat a Slow Attack Alloy for the 100 raw attack. Then I eat my Elemental Converter. So far, Mechanic has met my expectations as a good, budget-friendly, and free-to-play class. It's nice to help people in a party by buffing them, especially Weapon Perfection. So right now my build is still early game, and I hope to progress further into mid-game later with better gear and cards. So stay tuned for future videos where I'll cover my priorities and my investments. And I hope you enjoy playing Mechanic as much as I do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's a video that I'd recommend, and if you want more mechanic guides, check out this playlist over here.